Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Welcome. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend, and most of all, relieve the stresses of your life throughout this weekend. All my folks in South Florida, I'm glad most of you are safe. A couple of tornadoes so far this weekend. One in North Palm Beach / Palm Beach Gardens. A little bit of damage. Nothing major, which is a good thing. It was only a EF1 tornado, and there was another one out in Belglade, Florida, just outside Belglade, between Belglade and West Palm Beach. It's all agricultural land for the most part. So yes, it's all good. It's all good. But we're still expecting more severe weather come tomorrow too, same results. So, everybody stay safe, keep your eye to the sky, all that good stuff. I want to say welcome to this episode of Chasing Life, Liberty, and Minarchy. Today is that day we're going to launch a movement right here, is what we're going to do. So all my liberty defenders, I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready, because we're going on the ride of our life. We're going for the ride of our life to the end, because this movement is going to need, as the expression goes from back in the day, ride or die, right? We can't keep playing tiddlywinks with these people. We have to elevate ourselves, right? And we need to get into the right spots and the right positions, right places, right visibility to make it happen. Because right now, nobody's really trying to move the needle. They're clapping on the status quo, right? Listen, I read today that the IRS, it's actually on their website. If you go to their website right now, usajobs.com, they are looking for armed IRS agents that are more than willing to use deadly force if they have to. You heard what I said. People that are willing to use deadly force against you over some fiat. This is one Rubicon we cannot allow to be crossed under any circumstances. We already have it out here bad enough where police already shoot people unarmed. We have law enforcement out here running amok, beating up people that are unarmed or wasn't warranted or excessive force. Now we're going to have the federal government kicking in your front door over a piece of paper that's only legal tender, has no value, to shoot you over it. Talking about overcompensating for the government's penis. Why don't we? I mean, this is a place, right, where if you get put in handcuffs, right, remember, these Article 1 courts don't operate, right, like your normal Article 3 courts do. You got to remember this, right? These Article 1 courts, these tax courts, right? They operate on the auspice that you have to prove your innocence. Not the government brings the burden of proof, and has the burden of proof to throw you in prison for not paying their fiat. This is what I need y'all to understand. These tax courts are shams on purpose. You're behind the 8 ball by default. Because you got to walk in and prove your innocence and make it overwhelmingly prove your innocence. I thought the court of law, right? The burden of proof, right? I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, y'all know how I get down. I thought the burden of proof, once they arrest you, is on the prosecution to prove that you're guilty. And you are to defend, right, their accusation. What's funny is we have a lot of Americans that think it is the other way around, that you have to prove your innocence. No, you just have to prove that there's no probable cause. You don't have to prove innocence. The hell with innocence. Innocence don't mean shit. Innocence don't mean shit in the court of law. You just got to prove that you just have to disprove their burden of proof. Too many people, too many United States nationals have been shot and killed, have been choked out, right? Whole 9 yards. Shot running away, unarmed. And we're going to give 87,000 people firearms to shoot through people's doors by accident. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the modern day Gestapo on a whole nother level. Because you already know that these people are going to take these 87 armed IRS agents and roll out in 3s and 4s and harass people that have right-wing ideologies or anti-government sentiments, right? I mean, we're going to have more Ruby Ridges and Wacos. We're going to have more Ruby Ridges and Wacos. This government keeps going. We're going to have more incidents like Ray Finicum. Because the government feels like they just can encroach on anybody's rights at will, because the people that are advocating for these policies are anti right-wing ideology, right? They don't care. I would almost go out on a limb and say that they're really employing these agents. So when the dollar collapses and they go to this so-called digital currency, the CBDC bullshit, right? These IRS agents will no longer be IRS agents, right? They'll be like the enforcers in China. Go to your front door, snatch you at your house for saying something online, right? Or they go to serve you and say, you can't spend that money that's in your account. We're officially freezing it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? These statists, These neoliberals, well, they're all the same, really. They don't care about what you got to do. They're just trying to get they're just trying to get blood out of that turnip. Today's the day. No more sitting, not saying, we as liberty defenders, we've been sitting on the sideline, but we got to start getting loud. We got to start getting loud real quick. Real quick. All that noise you hear on social media about transgender this and abortion that and excuse my language a minute. Fuck that noise. Our individual liberties are about to be demolished by a bureaucratic agency that will use firearms at all cost to protect their fiat. You hear what I'm telling you? They will do everything they can to protect their fiat. And no human being needs to die over something that has no value. But they will use it as a vice to entrap you. Today is the day we start the crusade for minarchy. Because the only thing that's going to fix all of this is minarchy. Anarchy can't fix it. The current system we got, you can't work within that system to fix it because they are all complicit in the system to keep it going. They're just cogs in the wheel to keep you complacent, to keep it going. We're all tired of this overreaching bureaucracy we call government. This government is so skewed. They forgot the principles of the document of minarchy, which is the United States Constitution. If you would follow it to its letter, you could live a very, very state-free life. But too many people get their grungy, dirty ass hands in there and stir the pot for power. And created a swamp and pulled all their buddies down in there so they can look underneath the deep and steal the money out your pockets and make you poor and impoverished. These neoliberals, yes, I'm talking about you guys. Because the only thing y'all policies have done, you neoliberals and basically any statist, right? Globally, your policies have led to a plethora of socioeconomic consequences, including poverty, unemployment, deterioration of income distribution, the wage gap that y'all claim, right? All because you want to use the government bureaucracy to make things better, but you're making it only better for yourself, right? Your neoliberal policies, right, has destroyed cities and communities alike. The statism you espouse, you do that to keep money in your pocket and take it out of others. But we're talking about the wage gap, ain't we? Yeah. Some of you come to a shock. Yes, I believe in the wage gap. There is a wage gap. There is a wage gap any which way you look at it, where it's men to women. If it's brown to white, it's there. You know why? Because these neoliberals and these statists have created the adversity of income, right? Look, y'all want an example? Here we go. What's the difference between Appalachia and the inner city? Right? I want y'all to really think about that. What's the difference between Appalachia and the inner city? There isn't a difference. Neoliberal policies and regulations killed both. I mean, you see just as many dilapidated buildings in Appalachia as you do in the inner city. Why? Because of regulations on manufacturing and industry. Look at West Virginia, for example, coal country. Money flowing in and out. Regulations starting in 1977 over coal and the coal miners started killing their economy, started literally killing the people because people couldn't pay their bills. They turned to drugs. This is not a new concept. What'd they do when they took the manufacturing out of the cities and left all the black and brown folk in the cities jobless or had to drive out to the suburbs 20 miles for a job? What'd they turn to? Drugs? Dilapidated buildings? There's no difference. These neoliberals, these statists in kind, created these policies to create this wealth income gap. We can't, you people can't sit here anymore and deny that there is or isn't an income gap. We can't deny this. You have to be genuine about this. You have to be very genuine about this. Those same neoliberals created, right? They're creating the pay gap between men and women, but it's not because women are not working more. Their policies, right, are forcing people to pay men less and women more, right? Their policies is forcing you to put one or two women on your senior C level to operate. See what I'm saying? Oh no, we gotta protect women, but not near one of these cotton picking suckers care about a woman because they let a man in his full meat suit pretend to be a woman and then get all woman privileges and then want to discredit and dismiss a woman when she says this ain't right. Huh? This is what these neoliberals and their policies do. Their statism does to a country. And I'll be damned. I think we all are tired of it. We're all tired of it. I hear my women folk all the time talk about like, what the hell? Every time I turn around, I'm being attacked. And it's sickening. And they're using government policy to do it. They're using government money to attack women like they attacked black and brown people. These neoliberals, this is all they know how to do. But look here, conservatives, you're just as complicit in it because every time you say, oh, there's no gender pay gap, you need to really look again and really think about what you're actually saying. Because when you say, oh, there's no pay gap, they keep going. These neoliberals keep going. Instead of you lynch-pinning them into their talking point, you just deny it. It's not in there. No, my conservative friends, you are closer to the truth than what you think you are. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to take the neoliberal talking points and spin it on them as proper, right? Because it's all backhandedness. It is all backhandedness. And it's destroying everybody, whatever demographic they want to target, and using the government to do it. I had the nerve someone told me that, well, the people in West Virginia, they could choose something else. What do you mean something else? Their main industry is coal. But, oh, you don't care about poor white people. You only care about the poor black people. It's the same predicament, same regulations that make them poor too. But you don't care about the poor white people. Y'all can do better. Y'all can do better, poor white people. I'm sorry. I'm going to the crayon box. That is another tenet of white supremacy. Right? Now, and tone deafness, right? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real. The neoliberals run this country, and we have to stop it. We don't have a choice. I don't think we have 2024. Unless we hit the ground moving right now, we can't even think about moving the needle. This minarchist movement needs to hit the ground today. This is what this show's about. And we need to hit it running. Screw all that noise. We're even going to piss off libertarians. At this point, we're going to piss them off too. Because a lot of our libertarians that you see still advocate for some sort of statism into play. Right? Some major statism. We're going to piss them off too. I really don't care. At this point, we got a country to save. And neither one of the three teams is stepping up to do that. The R's and the D's, they keep fighting each other like the Spider-Man meme. You did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, Those days are done. Those days are done. So, I know some of you are very curious on what Minarchy is. Minarchy. And it's kind of very, very similar to people mistaking it for monarchy, right? But minarchy, better, the other term for it that a lot of true libertarians use, or voluntarist, is the night watchman state, right? And the night watchman state is a state that is limited and minimal government. That's it. And I know a lot of conservatives talk about limited government. But listen, y'all, let's keep this all the way real a second. And I want you to ask yourselves an honest question. How many bills has Congress repealed in the last 20 years? I want y'all to think about that. Now that you've thought about it, are you sure that they're about limited government? Or are they about cutting off the limited government at the point when they see it, instead of going back and unraveling all of it? Listen, I know some of you are going to hear this and kind of have your feelings hurt a little bit about, your political party, whether it be Democrat or Republican, but, they're both playing for the same team, and it's the team of the state. Right? They give you the illusion, oh yeah, we're going to fight it. But no one's gone in there and actually tried to repeal executive power given to them by Congress. I mean, I know of a couple people that have. That's it. But no one listens to them. Everybody ignores them because people are getting kickbacks off this stuff. It's just like the whole look. Those of you that are on the Patreon, you've seen where I posted about posting a formal comment about the Title IX rule, right? And how they're using, right, Title IX. If you don't allow transgender athletes in your sports, you don't get federal money, kind of crap, right? This is what I'm saying. None of these people go on there. They go in there to expand government, and people have to swallow that pill. right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to vote, who to vote for, how to vote. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this, but I want you to come to your own conclusions when you're actually looking at our government holistically on the federal level. They are all about expanding their power and taking money out of your pockets to do it and then distribute to other people as they see fit. Huh? We tired. We are really tired. We're tired of waking up every day worried about if we're going to be able to go to the bank and draw money out, or if we're going to be able to put gasoline in our cars. There's going to be a gasoline shortage and no imported gasoline. Have to worry about going to the grocery store to, if you don't have access to a farm nearby, you're not growing your own vegetables, which you should be doing, etc. Which is easy thing. You can't handle cattle at your house unless it's zoned right way, but you can grow vegetables and stuff, right? What are you going to do when you walk into that store and a loaf of bread is $1,000? What are you going to do when that toilet paper is $600? All because of federal bureaucratic control. That's it. We're tired. And this is for the whole world. This is for the 330 million folks in the United States of America. And I think I speak for all liberty defenders. Your wicked ways to drain thy neighbor is coming to an end really quickly. Your advocacy for the bureaucracy to keep stealing from us is going on notice. We are sick and tired. And I say this also for the po folk, right? They are tired of having to make decisions about eating or paying rent or their mortgage because of the policies you guys have advocated for has made that possible for people that even have a little bit of change. I mean, we're getting to a point where a person making 40 grand, 45 grand a year is making life decisions over food and rent. Even upwards of about 50 grand are making life decisions about food or rent. This is what I don't understand about these people that want all this government regulation to curb other people's behaviors while they get rich off of it. We're tired. But it's the rich's fault. They don't pay enough in taxes. They pay for overwhelmingly over 75% of our taxes. Those people run this country. Why do you think they have so much pull in this country? They're paying majority of the damn taxes. I mean, it's not all lobbyists. It's not all lobbying per se, yet lobbying has a huge influence. But if you have the top 1.5% of people paying majority of tax in the United States, who runs this country? Who really runs this country? These people are going to give up millions and millions of dollars in tax revenue on the easy hook? You know damn well they're getting kickbacks. They're getting influence. All these lobbyists you see, now let's talk about the lobbyists. All these lobbyists you see are lobbying on behalf of the wealthy. But you say tax the wealthy more and give them what? More control over the country? What? Y'all make that make sense to me. But again, right? Neoliberalism and or statism has no actual logic behind it. Because it's all about enriching themselves, and they got stooges down here amongst us walking the streets that will prop them up. This is why they can't get at Elon. Elon's one of the richest men in the world. I think top one or two or three. Top three, I know that. They can't get at Elon. They can't control Elon's money. He won't let them control his money. That's what he do. He buys a Twitter and launches a rocket every week, like it's a play toy, like it's an Estes model rocket. Oh, I just blew 200 million a day on a rocket. It blew up. Let's build another one. What? Who says that? They can't control Elon's money. And this is why they mad. That's why they go after him. People, and right? If the neoliberals can't control you through the bureaucracy, they're gonna do everything they can to try to tear you down in the public court of public opinion. And that still ain't worked either. I mean, we're gonna start calling Elon Teflon Don around here, because everything they try to do, that man's like, psh, I ain't studying y'all. I got a Twitter and some rockets to build, and I'm gonna continue trolling y'all on Twitter. Because that's what I do. That's why I bought it. I bought it for $44 billion just to troll the whole world. It's the biggest troll machine. I think it's pretty hilarious. People fall into the trap. The trizzy trap. Trippy trap. They fall into the trap, baby. But anyway, we got to take our stand. We got to take it now. We got to go in and get it all the way in. Right? We need to start running for local offices. Just to get our name on the ballot, right? Just to get our name on the ballot, right? I would love, in the midst of this movement, to create a political party just for local and even state purposes, not even federal. Don't even want to break the federal. I want to break local, right? I want to break the locals down. I could care less about federal government. And I think y'all all agree to that and with that, right? Because I say it before and I'll say it again for the people in the back. Your liberty will be taken from you on the local level before it is taken anywhere else. And we need to stand on our local and then push back on the state. And I mean the state as in the political subdivision of state, not that big apparatus of state, the political subdivision called a state, like a Florida, like a Georgia, like South Carolina. We got to be able to push back on them from a local level. Right. We need to get into these seats and throw these Republicans and Democrats out of their seats, especially ones that's been sitting there for 5-10 years in their seats. We need to throw these people out their seats and get this fresh blood of minarchy in these seats and start repealing some of these city ordinances, right, that give the city government too much power over your life. I mean, that even breaks down. Remember, at the beginning, we're talking about the police and all that stuff. We can control that from there. We can decide how we want to be policed. We can decide that. But I'm telling y'all, as long as the R&D machine is sitting in these seats, police aren't going to get any better. We're going to keep hearing the stories of bad police not being held accountable. We're going to keep hearing these stories because they create policies to create more interactions with people that is unnecessary. Right? I mean, let's keep it real, y'all. We have to take back our local level. We have to take it back. And we can't do it under the R or the D. We got to come from the other direction, blind side, in their face. Look, you can be conservative all you want. You can identify ideologically as a conservative and do all that. Right? But the purpose of this movement is to get away from the abuse of the state bureaucracy. This is to get away from the chains the state puts on us, the bureaucracy puts on us. Starting at the local level, throw all these ordinances out that impede your liberty. Throw them all out. So here, soon enough, as soon as I get offline, as soon as we close this show out, if you go to roderickthreets.com and you go to the top of the menu, you're going to see the Minarchy movement link, and you can click on that. That's going to take you to another page where you can sign up for the newsletter. The website construction is coming along smoothly. I should be up within a day or two. And I'm going to have some things laid out there on what the first steps are going to be of this movement, how we're going to corner these people in. I'm even writing a curriculum. I've been writing a curriculum for the last probably day since Friday, on how to run for office, how to drum up support. I've been writing this because, again, like I said, right, there is no later. It's right now. It's right now. If we don't act right now, I'm not trying to be sitting here and be doom and gloom with you, but you see what I see. You see what I see. And it's going to get tough. And most of us are prepared. We're built tough. Most of us that listen to this show, we're from the same generation, right? We're from that X, right? We're built tough, like Ram trucks. We're built tough. So we'll get through this, but we also need to attack it from the angle outside of R&D, because R&D are the same team. No matter which way you flip those letters around, and that's who we need to get away from. So be on the lookout for that on the said website. You can always you can also drop your email address before I get the actual newsletter written up and generated and running. You can drop your email address in the live chat. Some of you already, some of you already have your email address, but if you are interested, leave a 1 in the chat. I'm sure Miss Kell's in there in the live chat there this evening. She'll collect those up for me, and I'll make sure you're on that new list, in the newsletter I'm going to print out and all that good stuff. But we have an opportunity and a window to really make an impact. While everybody is fighting about Trump, While everybody is fighting about RFK, everybody's fighting about transgender, fighting about abortion, we need to keep our mouth shut. We need to keep our mouth shut. And we need to sit back and plan on how we're going to take seats on our local city councils, how we're going to take mayoralships, how we're going to get on county councils. That's what we need to start planning on. This is what we need to start doing. Because they can have all the federal seats they want up there. I don't care if the majority's, you know what I mean? If it's a 2-person majority or 3-person majority in either favor, it's still all 435 people on the same team. They just pretend to have opposition. It's like, what's that? That's that saying, it's go time, right? It's go time. And as the movement starts picking up steam, you know, especially from a social media standpoint, I'm gonna get all that stuff put together too, the Facebook and the Twitter and all that stuff, get that stuff going, and you know, I'm trying to end up getting a domain for it also, and I gotta figure out what I gotta do for FEC filing. I mean, I'm going to do all this, try to do all this with no cost as I can, to do this. But it's needed, it's warranted, right? And we can, I know there's a lot of people like us out here on social media, out here in the world, that is just sick of all of it. And they don't have a clue on how to even go about doing it, or how to get involved in doing it. And that's kind of one of the reasons I mean, I've talked about other movements in the past, but you know, it's like some things just don't happen because of timing, and I never pushed it, but everything is just formed to perfect right now. It's now or never. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You don't have to be down here in Florida. You can be anywhere. You can be anywhere. You can run for office in local town. It don't matter. You know, I'll be doing little small, I guess you call them seminars or WebExes or whatever, and talk to everybody. You know, that's interested in potentially running office, and using my experience from when I ran for office in Salt Lake County, to give people insight on kind of the inside baseball on all that stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, we need to grow this. We need to grow this as fast as we can so we can creep up on our enemy, which is the bureaucracy. That's all. That's it. We attack the bureaucracy. We don't attack D. We don't attack R. We just remove them. We just remove them from the equation, because these people still pass laws that impede on your liberty, but put it under the guise, well, we're helping you. No, isn't that what Reagan said? The worst thing you can hear from the government is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. No, we heard y'all say that during COVID. I digress, though. I digress. So, like I said, be on the lookout for that this evening on my website, roderickthreets.com, for the Minarchy movement. And hopefully we can get a nice group of people together. We can do our things on social media, things like that. And really spread the message of true, right? True limited and minimal government. Because we also have to understand too that this minimal government, remember, supports the non-aggression principle, right? So those of you that are inquisitive, go look at the non-aggression principle. Y'all have heard me talk about it before, and I've kind of explained it in context and situations. But just, take a search non-aggression principle or non-aggression axiom and understand what that's about. Because once you get a full understanding of that, then you'll understand what minarchism is and why the non-aggression principle is a cornerstone of that. So we're gonna roll out of here. Like I said, stay tuned to my website, emails in the chat area. So Miss Kel, if she's in there, she can gather them up, etc. Or I can come back later and look through the chat and see who all said whatever. But I hope y'all stop back by tomorrow evening, 9:30. We're gonna talk about good old Congress, see what they did, and maybe a small update on this on the minarchist movement. Depends on what needles move this evening and tomorrow. Getting into this, so ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your weekend. We got a huge fight ahead of us, but we can overcome. Remember, it was 3% that told the king to kiss their ass, right? So, with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And thanks for tuning into this episode of Chasing Life, Liberty, and Minarchy. Until next time, life, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.